Hey, what's good, people? This is episode 76, but we ain't counting episodes anymore. We're just naming them. All right? This is Sports Debate Tuesday. The episode starts. Get ready, people. Right now. You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my love. You hear that? That means I got a cold. That means this voice is deep. That means this week, ladies and gentlemen, on this Sports Debate Tuesday, along with my man Rob, keep it. Say it with me. Keep it. McLean. I am Jason DeBeas, and today we don't have a high-pitched voice. Today we got two deep voices because Jason got the cold but don't got the Rona, and Rob is just naturally like that. Ladies, beware the baritone. Yo, hell of a card this weekend. Didn't know it was free. Didn't know I didn't have to pay for it. We got to pay for this one coming up. Man, your Knicks still look good. I mean, even the games they lose, they fight. They're just entertaining as hell to watch. We're going to pick our winners for this week because I never saw two people between Kamaru Usman and Kobe Covington that wanted each other so freaking bad. To shame or not to shame, got a special one. Quick question, but Rob, first things first. We bring you, of course, to the NFL. We are neck deep in our season, and there were a lot of great games and some even better upsets, right? It's been quite the roller coaster from Najee Harris giving the Steelers 91 stingy yards. They really, really needed that. Ben Roethlisberger pulled out the win against the Browns. Though Baker Mayfield showed me something. I really liked the way he played, at the end. Calvin Ridley indefinitely walking away from the game. Let me tell you something. Mental illness is a real thing, man. Sometimes you kiss millions goodbye because you got to take care of yourself. And maybe if you and I want to touch on that at the end of this, we could do that. But my question to you, Rob, is which game entertained you the most? Out of all of these games that had us out of our seat, which one stood out to you?
So I know it's a while ago, but that Thursday night game against the Packers and the Cardinals, I thought that was a preview of what we're going to see in the NFC Championship at the end of the year. So I think that's going to be and it was a really exciting game. It wasn't high scoring like a lot of the games been this year. So it was good defense as well as some good offense. And, without Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers still came in and put a hurt on the 7-0 Cardinals defense. Is playing great. So I think it was one of the best games I saw all week.
Yeah, man. Did you see the end? Like that guy, it's so crazy. He didn't even turn around. The one that turned around was the defender, man. And I'm sure they made that throw a million times, but the receiver's got to whip his head around. There's no way.
He's a vet.
Yeah, there's no
man.
way. Who was that? Was that AJ Green?
Mm-hmm.
He should know better, man. He gets throws like that from Andy Dalton all the time. Man, nah, I don't like that one. Let me play with my volume a bit. All right, that's better. But yeah, I really like that game, and you're right. Thursday's game's very easy to ignore because Thursday seemed so long ago when you looked at all the Sunday night games and even Monday night. Even if you're not a Giants fan, that was a fun game to watch last night. Rob McLean, my most entertaining game this week, the one that tickled my funny bone, was the New York Jets. These guys have victories over two high-quality teams. They only have 2 wins. I believe they're 2-5, but they're 2 wins against the Tennessee Titans, a fully loaded Tennessee Titans, right? And the Cincinnati Bengals, who both and I agree were just rolling, right? They're totally hitting their stride, like murking the competition in their conference. Beat the Buffalo Bills, right? Beat the Kansas City Chiefs. No way you and I thought the Jets would come out with this. Wasn't even on our pick 6. Wasn't even worthy of our notice, but I look at this guy, and someone says the name Mike White. You know what I said? To quote Conor McGregor, I said, who the fuck is that guy? I'll tell you who Mike White is. Mike White, from Western Kentucky. It was 37 for 45, 405 yards, 3 touchdowns, two picks, and also caught a 2-point conversion on something we affectionately referred to as a Philly special. He's the first Jets quarterback to throw for 400 plus yards since the year 2000. I go back that far. That was probably Vinny Testaverde. And people will check that later for us. And he's also in second in debut as far as quarterback first game in total yards. Cam Newton, I remember, threw for 422 his opening game. So this kid came out of nowhere. Is he a flash in the pan? We all believe so, but for this weekend, and if not for only this weekend, he just might be their guy. Johnson was good too, right? The guy came in a little bit for him, ran some yards, and I think he also threw a touchdown pass as well. So make mine the New York Jets this weekend. We got a lot of great matches coming up this week too. Yeah. So, So before we go on to topic 2, which is our pick 6, let's talk about Ridley. None of us saw that coming.
Not at all.
Yeah,
not at all. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes on in football that we really don't talk about. And a lot of the NFL football stories, NFL football life, a lot of those guys are coming out. Even Calvin Johnson talked about it in his Hall of Fame speech, that, there's a lot that goes on. And it's not that he wants to, or these guys want to discredit the league. They love football. But at the end of the day, they still have to deal with the repercussions of the actions that maybe other people are making for them.
Dude.
That's when doctors say, hey, just take this, but they don't say, they don't ask how long you've been taking this, how many pills you pop this time. Those aren't the questions being asked. There's absolutely zero oversight. So I just think it's just a little bit of transparency, when you're talking about people or, the entertainment business, because the people are the actual part, like the pieces of entertainment. You need to take care of them, just like they're a piece of equipment. You can't just ungrease a piece of equipment. You need to, and by greasing a piece of equipment is not putting painkillers in front of them. It's helping them to actually get over injuries, because injuries do have a mental effect on you as well. So.
Yeah. But
it's sad to see, but
yeah. And that's crazy, because we had a conversation before the podcast started about acknowledging how real science is, but at the same time making your own personal decisions. Like you just gave a great example. Like if you're hammering your thumb, do you take pain medication to relieve the pain, or do you stop hammering your thumb? Right? Like if you have high blood pressure, do you get a little bit more garlic in your life, or are you quick to just pop a Norvasc, and this and that, and some of these things also have more scientific circumstances that go beyond our level of maintenance, right? Like high cholesterol. It's crazy. I understand that's some of it's hereditary. You get it from your auntie or something. That's nuts. So,
well, again, I would say that's a choice. Yeah. And these guys, in a very traumatic space, saying, am I going to make money this week or not for my family, being told that this is your option, as opposed to don't do it anymore. There is no option in the NFL of don't do it anymore.
No.
So I would say it's
do you think they
I get what you're saying, but a little different.
Go first. I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. I'm just saying, I get what you're saying, a little different, because these are actually people's livelihoods that, again, aren't just themselves. There's many people that are connected to the things that they have to make, and these are the decisions that they have to think about in a split second of, do I want to take painkillers to take away this pain? Because, hey, that's going to feel nice, and my family gets paid, and I get to play football, and I get to be with my friends, and I get to, be a person and experience life? Or do I have to make this tough decision and change everything just to feel better? Right. Is my feeling really that important? That's, again, all these things have to happen in a split second of a yes or no, and you're being told, hey, take these pills, they'll help you, they'll get you through. It's a tough environment to be in,
This is why contract restructuring and contract negotiations are so important. You see in mixed martial arts, combat sport, which is every bit as far as brain trauma and putting your body through the ringer, just every bit as heightened as football. You agree? before I say something next. Combat's mixed martial arts, football, kind of on the same keel as far as pain is concerned and pain management.
Yes.
Yeah. So I like that these people are getting certain contracts where they're getting these big money fights, and you notice people are retiring earlier in the sport of mixed martial arts. Andrew Luck, you know what I'm saying? He got a 5-year deal, and he was like, you know what? I don't need 300 million. I got 150. I'm good. I want to be able to read to my kids. Stanford graduate. Put two and two together. So, I just wanted to touch on that because I knew you and I were kind of big on people taking care of themselves. And without us even knowing the details, we applaud them already, and we don't even know the facts behind it. It's like, look, you can't be out there unsure. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt even worse. So
I just think it's more that this person had all this opportunity that he gave to himself through his whole life, and he's making the decision to step away from that. And I think we should all understand how incredibly difficult that situation is. At least maybe take a little second, step in his shoes for a second, and understand that if you've been pushing yourself for your whole life and you're at the pinnacle of that dream and you are there, you're drafted, you're one of the best. You're literally the top receiver you're one of the best in the game. It's only 50 receivers, 60 receivers in the NFL. Like, you're one of the top 100 wide receivers in the world, and he's one of the best of them. To say and step away from that. Calvin Johnson, all pro, all world, best wide receiver all time. I'll just say that now. If you want to find me on it, cool. Let's talk about it. But he's there. He's in that conversation.
Yep.
He stepped away in his prime. Not let me get traded, let me find a new situation. Stepped away from the game in his prime. Yeah, they actually asked him to give him money back because he just got a signing bonus. That's how abrupt it was, because he couldn't even move his ankle. He couldn't flex his ankle. Right. He couldn't walk upstairs. He had to walk basically like he had a boot on for 3 years in the league. And he said, you know what, I'm over that. And that started a process of him getting better. So it's like, I don't want to toss down the league, but if it wasn't for the money, I'm sure these guys would have a lot more to say about what they need as in being healthy football players. And you look what happens with this league right now. There's so many injuries. It's not even fun to watch. No. There's a lot of teams that it's hard to watch those games because the quality of play is lower.
Diluted.
So
yeah, okay,
it's definitely lower.
Yep. Well, cool, man. That closes the door, albeit temporarily. But at least for now, for topic 1, topic 2, I bring you to the NFL Pick 6. Rob McLean, last week, I enlisted my friend Wendy Jones of the Optimist Journal. I don't have her picture, but I'll put it up on the edit. And I'll say something like, there she is, right there, like I'm doing now. Ladies and gentlemen, Wendy Jones was a perfect 6-0 on our Pick 6. She freaked out when she found out because she's not into this gangster stuff like we are, but she does watch every sport. She's one of those power moms, and theoptimistjournal.com, health and wellness, being better versions of yourself, healing, life coaching. That is the woman, period. And I was just going to say that's the man. I'm like, but you're a woman and you ain't a man, but you know what I mean, right? So, pick 6, Rob. This week we got Derek Zimmerman. He hasn't sent me the picks yet, but he will tonight. So let's start with topic NFL Pick 6, Game 1. We have the New York Jets. We have Jets visiting the Indianapolis Colts. One team's reeling, one team's got a little bit of momentum, so I thought it was pretty adequate for our Pick 6. Who do you got?
Sure. I'm going to go with the Colts. They looked great last week, and, I think the Jets probably going to fall off.
I think so, too, because that took what we would call an effort for them to win that game, and I don't see the sustainability. There's a reason why they're 2-5. They're only able to do that twice, and the Titans game took overtime, and to their credit, a win's a win, right? Because that's the same thing we say when the Jets lose. Yeah, got to go with the Colts on this one. I think Wentz is going to have a field day with play action. And, yep, that's my pick. So we have the Raiders visiting the G-Men, the New York Giants. Before you give your pick, I want to convey my personal disgust that Halloween was on a Sunday this weekend, and the Raiders had a bye. How are you going to not have the Raiders play on Halloween when I maybe the answer to that is every Sunday is Halloween, but I was really looking forward to seeing some of those costumes and this and that and the fanfare and the nostalgia of being a Raiders fan on Halloween. Shame on them. That should have been a shame. Who you got? G-Men hosting the Raiders at MetLife.
The Giants have played really well, and it really depends on who's going to be healthy.
Yeah.
If I knew that Saquon Barkley would be healthy, Galladay would be healthy, Sterling Shepard, he might be out again. I mean, we have no receivers. So I'm going to have to go with the Raiders because they've been playing great football too.
Yeah.
And the Giants, they just don't have the talent base to keep up with the injuries that we've sustained. So I'm going to have to go with the Raiders here, but I think it's still going to be a good game.
I do too. I'm picking the Raiders, but I got a side note that the New York Giants, despite their win-loss record, are out there. They're fun to watch because you never see them stop playing. You see them chasing guys all the way. You never see them taking their foot off the gas pedal. And Daniel Jones is out there taking hits for his team. With that being said, the Raiders, they had a lot of stuff to figure out in the beginning of the season, and they were able to squeeze out some wins figuring it out. And now that they figured it out, I got to go with the Raiders on this one. They're just too deep.
They're killing it right now, I think.
Yep. We have the Cleveland Browns visiting the Cincinnati Bengals. Sorry, I'll go first on that one. No, I go first. Don't know how healthy Chubb is. Don't know how healthy Baker Mayfield is. Don't know what Odell Beckham Jr.'s problem is. He's his father's complaining he don't get the ball, but when he gets the ball in these third and long situations and he gets balls thrown at his hands, he's not catching it. So you want to act like a diva, man. You got to play like a diva. You can't be a prima donna and lose. You can be a prima donna and win. And Baker is doing and the head coach are doing an excellent job to make sure that kind of drama doesn't seep into the team because they're doing really, really well. But I got to go with the home team on this. They're not the best team in the conference. They're not even the best team in Ohio. I go with the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I don't know. The Bengals defense, man, look real suspect, and especially what happened with the Jets recently. So I just think they're going to, self-recognize that they got to put up points. They got to keep putting up points. They got to keep throwing that ball at Jamar Chase because he's pretty unstoppable at the moment, and I think he could open up their offense a lot. They can score more, but, man, they got to score. If they're not scoring, they're not going to win. They're going to face a tough defense against the Browns. Man, I want to say the Browns because they got a good team, but I think the Bengals are going to win this. It's a really important divisional game. They're kind of in the lead, so they understand if they take this game, that's huge going forward. So
especially for that,
I'm gonna have to go, especially for that division. It's like this could almost change the whole year for them right now if they can win this game. So I think they're going to put everything forward, and the Bengals are going to come through and really close the game because they've done a really great job the last 2 weeks of kicking their team's butt, but they don't close. You don't win. So you got to close, man.
You really do.
I'm going to go with the Bengals.
Nice. We're going to call that game 3 in our pick 6. I'm nixing out the Jets and Panthers because we had 7. We had 7 games on this pick 6, and that's the one that's the one we're just going to do an obvious is obvious. Let's go to game 4. Packers going to Arrowhead. Play the Chiefs.
I think it's going to be a spank down, man. I mean, I think freaking Packers are going to absolutely destroy the Chiefs. Because I just think that energy, once that energy starts to play a factor, for whatever reason it is, the Chiefs, they just fall. They just fail right now. So bad execution from the Chiefs. They get 1 or 2 turnovers, it's going to be a blowout. So I think it's going to be the Packers on this one.
I'm gonna go Packers too, and and it's to me it's rather interesting that everyone's talking about are the Dallas the number 1 team in football, and to me it's so disrespectful to the Green Bay Packers, who I believe also only have 1 loss, right? And
first
and as far as strength of schedule is concerned, I know they caught Arizona at the right time or whatever, but with that being said, you still have to win that game too. So And to me, the Cowboys they're not the best team in football right now, because they're not even the best team in the NFC. To me, it's the Green Bay Packers. And I think they are going to give the Chiefs the chop. Let's go to game 5. I had to pause on that. Let's go to game 5. We have the Titans visiting the Rams. The Titans do not have Derrick Henry. I'm going to go first on this one. Yeah, I go first on this one. I'm going Rams. 2 reasons. One, they signed Von Miller, and Von Miller is only going to do great things on that team. And the second reason is the Titans lost Derrick Henry. Losing Derrick Henry, getting Von Miller, the pick to me. I know any given Sunday, but to me this pick is academic. I'm going Rams.
Yeah, I'm gonna also go with the Rams on this one. Not only that, but I was gonna say, the Rams, they might not even use Von Miller for the next couple weeks. I think he's been pretty banged up on the Broncos, so they might even sit him or place him in IR even until the playoff comes around. Because yeah, he's a great player, but they also need him to beat better teams or great teams. So I think they might even stash him this week, and they'll say, hey, if we win, we lose, whatever. I think we can take this game. Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the Rams. Great running, great offense, and their defense is starting to come together.
Yeah, I mean, this is also another team that I think is better than the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC. Last game, game 6. Let's see who goes lone wolf on this. We got the Bears visiting the Steelers. Okay, I'll go first on this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
1, 2. Tell me who are you? The Bears. 3, 4. Tell me who's gonna score? The Bears. Say it again. The Bears. I'm going with my man from Ohio State. I'm going with my mobile quarterback. I think he has a coming out party at what used to be Three Rivers. I don't know what the hell it's called now. I won't call it a passing of the torch because this Ben Roethlisberger is a 2-time Super Bowl champ, so that'd be disrespectful. But with that being said, I picked the Bears to beat the Steelers at least this night.
I'm gonna go with the Steelers. I just think I think when it comes down to this, my biggest thing that I make a mistake on is I look at what the Steelers have done the past weeks or leading up to, which is a good indication, but you also got to look at what type of team they're facing. And the Bears, although they're talented, they're not very experienced,
right?
And I think that when you come into a team or you come and play against a team who is very disciplined, very experienced, has a lot of past success,
yep,
that kind of rubs off, and I just think that I think Justin Fields is going to have a great day. I just don't think the rest of the Chicago Bears might have as good as a day. I think they're going to stop that run. They're going to plug that run. They're going to pressure Justin Fields out of the pocket, which might help him at first, but he's going to have a tough day ahead of him. That defense is tough.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to go with the Steelers on this one. Again, I think it's going to be a close game, but I think the Steelers probably win by 3 or 4.
Yep. Yeah. Yep, that's it. That concludes our pick 6. Actually, I have the totals right now. I'm a total of 26 wins, 16 losses, 26 and 16. Rob McLean, ladies and gentlemen, is 23 and 19. And the people who battle the host right now are 29 and 13. Seems like we're always trailing them, but at the end, you always catch up.
We'll see.
You
We'll
do.
see.
Yeah. That's why you don't see me talking shit, man. You have that look like, just wait for it, Jay. All right, that's our pick 6. We got topic number 3. Of course, mixed martial arts seems like the natural order of things for this podcast. UFC 267 was amazing. We had a long conversation about Styles making fights and this and that, but what a great title match with Corey Sandhagen and Peter John. It's somewhere at the end, if you didn't know who Sandhagen was, in the middle, you started cheering for him. It's like, I don't know this guy, but man, he's got heart, Glover Teixeira against Jan Blachowicz. We both picked Jan, but at the same time, I think I speak for both of us that we're happy for Glover. He's been in the game for a long time, and to see him get something at the end, that was pretty cool. So with that being said, Rob, I'm going to go first on this one. Which match entertained me the most? I think it was the main event. I think it was Glover Teixeira and Jan Blachowicz, because we expected this to be a 5 round war, but instead Glover did something on the feet. The guy grew up wanting to emulate Mike Tyson, so you knew he could hit people, and you knew that he had a good ground game because he's slickly submitted some really long and athletic fighters. Alvin St. Preux was a rear naked choke. Um, I know he beat Rampage, like when Rampage was in his prime. So this guy's been around the rung. I mean, Anthony Johnson slept him, but Anthony Johnson at that time was sleeping everybody. So that's kind of what gave people cause to pause. Oh, John Jones beat him. Okay, John Jones is the greatest of all time, or possibly the greatest of all time. So I saw a little bit of panic. I think Glover smelled that panic. And as soon as he put on the rear naked choke properly, there was an immediate tap out. And there was something really nostalgic and exciting where Dana was happy for him. Even Jan, who lost, was humble in defeat and victory. That's him. But even he was like, congratulations. So that was the one that I was very emotional about, because I'm a longtime MMA fan, and I watched this match way back when he had he had problems with his papers getting into the United States. And here he is. The light heavyweight champion of the UFC. Who you got for me, Rob?
Man. I mean, man, if anybody watched those fights, you can't say that Jan and Corey Sandhagen wasn't, the most exciting tonight. Like, that was what a great fight. I still, what I really saw was Peter Yan, really consistent, really clean. I think it's going to be such a good fight coming up with Sterling next. But it's crazy to me how I look at Corey Sandhagen, who's definitely an offensive fighter, but it almost gives me more praise for Aljamain Sterling, because you almost saw none of that offense against Sterling. He hit him a couple good times, sure, but there was no like full 5-round beatdown of another dude. So I have to give Sterling a huge credit on that. And I'm really interested to see what happens in the fight coming up, whenever he does come back. But yeah, I thought it was a fantastic fight. I just think, Corey got a little, two different levels, and, probably could have gone for some more takedowns in the beginning, got him to think a little bit more. But yeah, it was a good fight, really good fight, very entertaining, probably my fight of the night.
Yeah, man, and probably one of the candidates for fight of the year. I really liked it. Maybe not the
It's
winner,
definitely
but in that conversation. Here's the actual winner list, and it seems like the Russians love Abu Dhabi, don't they? Specifically, the ones from Dagestan. The Dagestani fighters are really doing their thing, and we had a conversation about styles. Off the air, we had a conversation about styles making fights and like what's really entertaining and what's not, but. I'd like to see if we could push that till next week, when we talk about Thug Rose and we talk about these fights that are coming up next. Okay, is that cool?
Sure.
All right. So we got UFC 268 coming up. We have Thug Rose fighting Wang Zhili, right? Zhili Wang, right? We have what else? We have. Oh, the main event. I never saw two people that wanted each other so bad as Kamaru Usman and Kobe Covington. This is a rematch. This is Covington and Usman 2. The first time I thought they were kind of dead even going into the 5th round, or some would say Kamaru was up 3-1 and there was a referee. The referee stopped the fight, I thought, intelligently. Because even though he wasn't out of it, he wasn't intelligently defending himself, and he's still cry feeling about that, and he's so happy to have this match back. So we are going to do the top 3 matches, and we're gonna just take a look at this because this card is savage. Look at that, Rob. Dude, hey, we got some Sarah BJJ guys. Jean Belante was formerly with him, might still be with him. Alaya Quinta against Bobby Green. 2 guys that like to stand and bang. That's going to be an interesting match. Alex Pereira, that dude doing backflips and somersaults in the ring. I mean, in the cage. But let's.
Right, Davey and Chandler, man. That's going to be the game.
Yes. So, actually, let's start with that one. Justin Gaethje versus Michael Chandler. I'm going to go first on that one. If it were a couple of years ago, where Gaethje just decides to stay in the ring and just play rock'em sock'em robots. I would have given Chandler more of a chance on this, but Gaethje's picking his shots. He's become half volume and at the same time not sacrificing his power. He is a dangerous dude, and we saw him do that against Tony Ferguson, and even survived an uppercut in that first and second round against Ferguson. And I pick him to beat Chandler.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a great fight. I think also because Gaethje loves to kick. And, man, I don't think Chandler has really faced a guy who can chop his legs up like that. As a wrestler, you do not want to lose your mobility. And the way he strikes, too, is a very mobile type of striking. So I think it's going to be a very interesting chess match that's going to get blown up really quick. And, yeah, I mean, because Gage is going to take a punch, And so Gage is taking a punch, and I don't think Chandler can take a punch. He's got a pretty glass jaw. So Gaethje doesn't want to go to the ground. So, he's got good defense. It's a really good matchup. I really like this fight. I definitely think that Gaethje is going to win this.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be perfect because I think this is exactly where Chandler should have started. He should have started not with a championship fight. He did not deserve that.
Well,
what he deserved is
Dan
a
Hooker.
top four. Yeah. So what? So Islam deserves a top shot now? You know what I'm saying?
Well, he deserves a shot at someone in the top 4. I mean, the people are hiding,
But I'm just saying that somebody shouldn't get a title shot because they beat Dan Hooker.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's not the litmus test for a championship fight. But if you talk about, what Chandler could bring to this division, I think he could totally be a champion, but he's not ready for it. So this is a great fight to show your level, to show where you are in the division instead of being gifted a division, a top 5 ranking. And yeah, I think Gaethje's going to win this, but I also don't think it's going to be a finish. I think it's going to be a decision, and I think that Gaethje is going to come through with some points.
Okay. Yeah, we definitely agreed that like Dan Hooker at the time was ranked number 5, and he was actually looked like he was gonna be in the mix to fight like one more fight into the title. The whole glass jaw thing, I think his jaw became glass because if you get into these slugfests sooner or later, right? Then people are not going to have to hit you as hard or whatever. If you remember Eddie Alvarez, I think he fought Eddie Alvarez at least twice, maybe 3 times, and they just stood and banged. He fought Will Brooks. Will Brooks, is not in the UFC anymore, but that dude hits hard. He fought Pitbull, the Pitbull brothers. You know what I'm saying? They're short arm, but they're sneaky. They change levels, and that's probably why he got like a one match and then in. I mean. It's really not that uncommon. I mean, I remember Nick Diaz from Strikeforce was promised a title shot. Aldo, some people were even given belts, but I'm not prepared to debate you on that. I don't think you're totally wrong either on that one. I just think
maybe
I'm just trying to rationalize
their
reasoning on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, let's be honest. He's a splash guy. He can't. He was a champion.
Uh-huh.
He lost. That's why I think he shouldn't have gotten a championship fight. But he lost his last fight to defend his title before he came into the UFC, and then off of a loss beat Dan Hooker. So that's why I'm like, I don't expect him to. I do expect him to lose. I do expect Michael Chandler to get beat again. I didn't. Should he have beaten Charles Oliveira? I don't think he was ready for that. I mean, like you were saying,
I just thought that was Charles' time. Charles in charge.
Well, even still, and why? Because if Charles at any other time in his career, if he would have gone up and gotten that championship fight, he would not have been ready for it, and we would all been like, I don't know, is he ever going to make it there?
Yep.
Those psychological barriers. As much as even Dan Hooker would say, "Oh yeah, I know how to get up from a tough loss. I've been knocked out. I've been choked out. I've been all this." Yeah, but at the end of the day, you've been choked out. You've been knocked out. You've been all this stuff. So those are things you got to go back and fix. And I'd rather take the guy who hasn't been there and is looking to win those championship fights, So
yeah. I'm down with fresh.
It's a fine line between, having some guy that becomes a long-term journeyman and somebody who is in a process to win a championship. I think, and not to go too far with this, Johnny Walker is a guy who's right on the precipice of those two paths.
Yeah.
Is he going to be a long-term journeyman or is he on the path to a champion?
I think his next match is going to tell us a whole lot about that. Yep.
I
Yeah.
think the last one already told it, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, but again, I get their reasoning. We had people that get title matches because they were the champion in a division lower, right? Like Connor got to skip the
Sure,
line. Cejudo got to skip the line. John Jones
sure.
can stay out of jail and roll off his couch, and Dana will give him a heavyweight title shot.
Within the same promotion, though, that
Ah,
matters a lot.
that does.
Because
Yeah.
he's put in the time. He's a UFC product. It makes sense.
Yep. It does make sense. All right, let's go on to our co-main event. We have Thug Rose Namajunas against
Yeah.
Zhang Weili. And man, you got to go first on this one.
The first time when they came up to fight each other, I'm gonna say I was just as I am right now. I'm a little nervous for Rose. I'm like, this girl could really beat her the hell up. This girl could really hurt this girl. But then I think back to how this is the same way I felt about the first fight with Joanna. This is the way I felt about the second fight with Joanna. Like, maybe she's right. Maybe it was just a aberration. Maybe she's not gonna sneak in a kick under her perfect, perfect.
Yep.
What's it called? The perfect hands up and knock her out in the first round. Maybe what happens if that doesn't happen? Wei has a lot of tools, but man, Rose is just tough, man. She's tough. Even when she loses tough. And this goes to all fighters. The better you are, and this is Davison Figueiredo's got this issue.
Yep.
The better you are, the faster you are, like the quicker you get better, the less time you have to have those tough battles and have to pick yourself up by the bootstraps, let's just say, to use a quote.
Yep. No, yeah.
I don't think that a lot of people have that toughness.
That dog.
And yeah, and she definitely has that. I'm not saying Wei doesn't, but she hasn't, Joanna has that dog, and you have a hematoma on the top of your head, what I'm saying? That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Wei has been in a lot of battles.
Yeah, she got that dog too, man.
She does, but I don't think she has the dog to finish that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
She has it to stay in that fight. But to finish,
yeah.
So I'm gonna go with Rose in this. I think it's gonna be a 4-round burner, and Rose is gonna finish her in the fourth round.
Well, to quote one of my favorite movies, sometimes if you got a mean junkyard dog, you can't fight him with ASPCA rules. You got to let the leash off your bigger, meaner, nastier junkyard dog. Enter Thug Rose Namajunas. She is, like you said, she is a rough rider, and it's probably the first female athlete we have ever referred to that as. You know what I mean? I mean, we could definitely say the same thing about Amanda Nunes, but that's a whole other level. That's a whole other story. With that being said, she surprises people with her power. Because there are a lot of people that kind of see it coming and they're like, you know what? I could block this. I could survive this. Joanna stuck her chin out. She's like, Rose is going to hit me with a left cross or whatever, or like a straight left. I think I got it. And I can make her pay. But then next thing you know, you're dropped. Your legs go out and you don't even know why. You don't even know why. And the answer is, why? The answer is, this girl hits hard. And by the way, that's not even her strong suit. Her strong suit is she's gotten slick, nasty ass submissions, man. I remember Michelle Waterson.
True.
I'm not talking about Paige Van Zandt. I mean, it would be disrespectful to say that doesn't count, but I think there are levels to this. So I had to use the Karate Hottie, who is also a slick submission specialist. So that's why I use that example. Rose shows people that it's not a fluke. She did fight, reminding people she did fight Joanna twice. Because the first time she fought her, everyone called that a top 5 upset in the history of the UFC. Right. And at the time, they were right. But you beat her again. Joanna thought she won. She really didn't. Thug Rose won that 4-1. And yeah, got to go with Thug Rose on this one. Well, we're both picking the same thing. I mean, that could be a Fight of the Year candidate, though, right?
That's what I'm saying. I think it's going to be 4 rounds of just absolute toughness, and then she's just gonna finish.
Can the lady? I mean, in this stacked card where you got Frankie Edgar fighting Marlon Vera, Alex Pereira, right. You got Ala Cuenta. Wow, like right now I'm looking at the top 10 matches in the prelims and the main card. I think the the girls can steal this show. I think who runs the
For
world?
sure.
Girls. Main event. Whew. And the crazy thing is, just when we have a chance to settle down and exhale and fully take in what's going to happen in this title match at women's strawweight, we still got one more after that. We have to reboot, recalibrate, because, ladies and gentlemen, the main event is Kamaru Usman defending his title for the second time against Colby Covington. I go first on this one. Colby was willing to do whatever it took to get back to that title picture. He fought Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley had previously lost to Gilbert Burns and had lost the title to Kamaru Usman. And I'm not gonna make that. I'm not gonna cheapen his victory, because the way he beat Tyron Woodley was total dominance. It was hands. It was wrestling against a Division I wrestler at University of Missouri, and he used his head. Because Tyron looked like he was going for a guillotine, and he used his head to crack a rib. That is a nasty mean junkyard dog. That is Colby Covington. But let me tell you something. Kamaru Usman, this is the kind of fight he gets up for. This is the kind of fight he gets up for. Anyone that wants to, ladies and gentlemen, you need to watch that first match before you even sniff this one. Two wrestlers. If you look at their whole career, they predicated their career on taking people down, ground and pound, scoring submissions, or sometimes just riding out decisions because they're just dominant wrestlers. There was not one single takedown attempt in 5 rounds for two of the best wrestlers in this division. Kobe deserves it, and I'm glad they didn't make him fight another one. He only would have, I think he would have murked Masvidal too, or like whatever, laid and prayed, or just went after him. And Kamaru Usman, he's been a fighting champion. Fought Masvidal twice, beat Gilbert Burns, who we know is no scrub. I mean, what? And beat Covington. That's 4 title defenses. Who you got? I got Usman.
Yeah, I mean, on the short, I'm just gonna say I got Usman.
Yep.
But let me say, Colby Covington, man, he's gonna get beat. He's gonna get beat up, and this is why. I think Kobe's a great fighter. I think he's going to come in and do, what he does. I think that his strength is through his wrestling. So if he can't wrestle, big business, big bad business for him. Kamaru Usman, he could wrestle, but he's been training hard to be great at stand-up. And you can tell.
Every fight, right? He's gotten better.
Every fight he's got. And this is why I'm telling you, this is going to be a real bad fight for Colby Covington. And not because of who he fought, because in the fashion that he knocked him out. I have never seen somebody in that division get knocked out so viciously as what Kamaru Usman did to Jorge Masvidal. And I'm not saying that because, Masvidal is not good enough and they're 2 different levels. Mm-hmm. It's because Masvidal is the smaller guy. He's the quicker guy. And he got not only hit with 1 punch, he got absolutely destroyed by a right hand. And that wasn't even, it was just a quick 1-2 that Usman just decided, even if I'm going to hit it, even if I don't hit, I'm going to put everything into this one. And he didn't overextend. He just hit it right on the button. That's an issue. That's a real issue for anybody trying to go up against this guy. Because just like I was talking about all those Russian wrestlers that we just saw, if you can go back to wrestling and you piecing somebody up on the feet, that's over. That's what Kazmat's doing. That's what Khabib did. That's what Islam did this past week. I mean, Islam did it cleaner than I ever seen it before. I mean, it was just like as soon as this guy was not ready to punch or he just ran in on his legs, tied him up, and just choked him out. Like, it was crazy. So that's what I'm saying is, there's going to be and maybe it's for a couple of years, maybe until the styles change, but wrestlers are about to dominate this sport, just like Michael Chandler's about to do. He doesn't even have a stand-up game. All he does is run in for that takedown, and if you think he's going to switch levels, he's coming with the overhand right, over left right. It's like, that's a pretty basic offense that used to be used in the UFC for a long time ago, and now it's coming back. But yeah, I just see like Usman, who again is not even doing running forward, overhand left or right. He's actually trying to beat you with a technical stand-up game. That is scary. And man, the power he has behind those punches with how little he's putting into them. Usman, man, Covington, man, stop making this guy mad because I want to see him get his jaw broke again. Honestly, I do. Like
Yeah.
I can't stand this guy. So yeah, it's gonna be Usman all day, and that's the end of it.
Well, two interesting facts. Jorge Masvidal, in what looks like 50 fights, has only been KO'd once. That was Rodrigo Dam, and I don't know if that was in Brazil, but I'm actually looking that up right now. That was in Japan, but that was 2008. Masvidal's a tough dude to knock out. All right. The second thing, we were talking about wrestlers. One thing before we go into shame or no shame, Khamzat Chimaev, his last 4 fights, all 4 of his opponents have a combined 1 strike landed. It's fucking ridiculous.
I know.
Yeah.
I saw that.
We'll talk about it more as the welterweight and the light heavyweight title tends to take better shape watching these, right? We got a Justin Gaethje fight, and that's gonna change the landscape. That might, whoever loses that might fight Khamzat, maybe, right? Because you're not gonna lose and then keep just sit on your seat and keep fighting up. I think you gotta fight down.
True.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that closes the door on MMA, at least for now. Great weekend coming up, man. You need to watch that. But for now, one of my favorite topics, ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you to shame or not to shame.
Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame. Shame.
Okay, let's do a little reconfigure here. And I think I got this right, Rob. Oh, I'm getting better at this. I don't need no stinking tech. Rob's like, yes, you do. No, I don't. Yes, you do. No, I don't. Rob, to shame or not to shame? Let's bring your attention to the Dallas Cowboys game. The Minnesota Vikings losing to the Cowboys without a true starting quarterback. To shame or not to shame?
Oh, absolutely. I don't need a minute for this one. It's absolutely a shame. I mean, come on, guys. And I got to say it on this. Kirk Cousins, fully guaranteed contract, playing like trash. Got one of the two best receivers. Got the best receiving duo in the league, easily. You can tell me anybody. This guy is just bad. I'm sorry. He's got Dalvin Cook. He's got a decent offensive line. He's got a pretty solid defense. And they're 3-4. I mean, how do you lose to a backup quarterback? What does that say about you? What does that say about you as a quarterback? It's funny because I saw at the end of the game, this will be my last 15 seconds. I saw at the end of the game, this guy, Kirk Cousins, roll up to this guy, Cooper Rush, give him a handshake, that mom. Good job, young man. Good job. You did great. I'm making 40 times the amount you making. It's like, that's crazy. That's crazy. This guy is just terrible. I always hated Kirk Cousins, and now I just like him a little bit less.
Rob, just like you, I probably don't need a whole minute for this, but I'm not going to go shame. I'm going to go no shame, and that is because if Dak Prescott was in this game, they probably would have beat him even worse. I think the Cowboys would have rolled up 35, 40 points on them. They had good momentum. Zeke, they had what you would call the traditional strategy. Put 8 in the box. Make the rookie guy beat you with his throws, and beat him with his throws. He wasn't terribly great, but I thought his throws were timely. And between you and me, like as a Giants fan, you'll take the right throw at the right time better than any beefed up stat any day of the week and twice on Sunday. But I'm disagreeing with you, but I'm gonna go no shame on this, but for all the same reasons you say shame. All right, cool. That's
good.
Yeah, man. Look, it's fun to talk about. And I ain't even. Yeah, I spared everybody the 14 seconds. We ain't honking the horn on this one. Actually,
No need.
I think we are. Did you hear that? It's still running. All right, so we have our next category, next to last. We're moving right along, and this one's called Quick Question. Quick Question. Or Quick Question. Or my bass voice, I could do quick question. All right, Rob, quick question. Derrick Henry's out. Are the Titans out of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
I gotta agree. I don't think 10-7 is good enough to get you into the playoffs, and I think that's as good as they're gonna do. They faced the Texans twice. I think that's a win. Jags, okay, Dolphins, but then you got Rams, Patriots, Saints, Steelers, Niners. No way. Quick question: are the Cowboys the best team in the NFL? I'll answer this first, the same way I answered it before. They're not even the best team in the NFC, and I know I'm a Cowboy hater, but be real. You got the Rams and you got the Packers.
Yeah, they up there, but
Are they the best
not
team
with
in the
Cooper
NFL?
Rush and not with Dak Prescott.
Right.
So no.
A quick question, Rob. Who's going to finish first in the AFC North? Give me one team.
Packers.
AFC North. Sorry.
Oh, AFC.
Yeah,
no,
NFC North
NFC.
is. You're like, is that a
was
trick
like,
question?
is that
Packers,
a question?
dude.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
Who you got? Who you got?
I go Bengals.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, Browns. I'm gonna go with Browns. I think they turn around. Let's see what we got. Come on now. Come on. They got talent. They got talent, bro. They got talent.
Oh my God, I sound like Scooby Doo. Raggy.
Let's see.
Quick question. Let's see. This is asked last week, but I'm gonna ask it again. Can the Patriots make the playoffs?
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I said no last week, and I still say no, but every week they're gonna make me a believer where I gotta eat them turds, you know. Quick question: early season favorites to get to the NBA Finals. I'll go first on this one. I like the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they have all the same players coming back with no drama, and I think sustainability to be able to get to the end and have a good position, at least third, second, or first. I think they'll be back in the finals, and I think they're going to play the Lakers. The Lakers have a lot of depth, and if you look at that team full of veterans, they're like, we're not even worried about getting to it. We just get in and we'll be fine. But they have to learn their lesson from last year.
We're gonna get to the finals.
East and West, baby.
You know, I really like the Heat. The Heat look real nice. Yeah, them are the Bulls. I really like them. Yeah, I mean the Lakers are the easy pick. Yeah, I go with probably the Lakers and the Heat. Let's say.
Okay, Lakers and Heat.
Go back to the last year or the COVID season final.
Yep. Hey, quick question. Von Miller to the Rams. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Academic.
Big thumbs up.
Big thumbs up. Quick question. With Henry out, Peterson's actually flying in to work out with the Tennessee Titans. Good idea, bad idea?
Great idea.
Yeah.
Just runs the way Derrick Henry should run.
Yeah.
Right?
And he always comes in
Finishes
shape.
his runs.
Right?
Yep.
And you don't have to worry about that guy getting in football shape. I think he walks around in football shape, right? He's
Absolutely.
They say Father Time's undefeated. That is absolute nonsense. I think Father Time wins at the end, but I think we both know Adrian Peterson has handed Father Time plenty of ass whoopings along the way, and looks like he's going to get another chance. That's the end of the quick question, Rob. But before we go, I really, really wanted to share this with you. For Halloween, there are people that decorate their yards, there are people that do all this, but I want to give a big shout out to one of my favorite defensive players, Bruce Smith. As far as like defensive players, LT's number one. Bruce Smith and Michael Strahan, all New Yorkers, but it is what it is. Even though, Haley's the guy that played for the Cowboys and the Niners, good. I think Charles Haley, he was pretty nasty. So Bruce Smith, check this out. He put 200 gravestones. I believe he's a sack leader. It's either him or Strahan. He put gravestones in his yard. 200 gravestones. Isn't that crazy? Look at the names. Remember Dave Brown from the Giants? Remember Randall Cunningham?
Terry Collins.
Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah. Brad Johnson.
Where's that? Yeah.
I don't know, bottom right.
Vinny Testaverde. Yeah. What else? Bubby Brister, Drew Bledsoe.
Dan Marino, John Elway.
Wow.
Trey.
Dude, Montana. See him in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Trent Green. Flutie Flakes. Flutie Flakes. Ray Lucas. Third string quarterback. Bernie Kosar. Mark Brunell.
Yeah.
Dude. So, big up to Bruce Smith. That's how you decorate your yard. He got the idea from Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett had like gravestones of everyone he sacked, and Bruce is like, I like that idea. I think I want to do that. And it was like a friendly thing. He wasn't trying to show him up, but there's respect there. So big shout out to Bruce Smith for doing something fun for Halloween. I think we all did something fun for Halloween. Something I want to talk about Thursday, but I want to get more details. Not a close personal friend of mine, but a colleague, a volleyball colleague, Matt Furbringer, and his wife, Joy, who's the head coach of Long Beach State, were summarily dismissed from their position in the middle of the season not even over. And the way it happened, basically, they were given 30 minutes to pack all their stuff, and security escorted them out like they were like freaking criminals. And you know me, Rob. This is without all the facts, because Greg Faulkner's going to come on the podcast Thursday, and I'm going to carry this water for both of us. That's why I saved it for the end. I'm a big believer of not letting someone's pedigree give them first, second, third, fourth chances. You're an Olympian. If your team sucks, you got to go, right? So they've been there 4 seasons, but I do know they've only had 3 winning records the last 6 seasons. So, and I don't know which years are which or whatever. And again, I don't have all the facts, but I will say this: the way removing someone like that who's beloved by the community is wrongheaded. And I don't know if that's procedure, but that's just ridiculous. First of all, getting rid of him in the middle of the season is makes me wonder what really happened, which is why you don't hear me saying people should be ashamed of themselves, which is what I want to say. My first take is this athletic director should be ashamed of himself. He should just remove himself. But that's my first take, right? So without knowing all the facts, that's something me and Greg Faulkner, Cal Northridge guy, he's a club coach. He's also the assistant coach at Cal Northridge. Beloved in the South Bay community. We'll chat a little bit about that. So people, stay tuned this Thursday. But before we go, Rob, is there anything you'd like to say to this wonderful world population?
Stay happy, stay healthy, y'all.
Stay happy, stay healthy. That is Rob. Rob might love you guys, but me, I don't love any of y'all right now. I'm feeling sick. In fact, I can't stand y'all. So for all of y'all at home, for all of you actually getting dinner now, we're recording this late. For all of you on your iPad, your Droid, your iPhone 12, your iPhone 15, your iPhone 55. For my man Rob, keep it McLean. I'm Jason DeBeas. See you next time. Thanks, guys. Come check out the Option Podcast on OptionVB.com. It's also available on iTunes and Spotify, and on YouTube under the NY Varsity Sports handle. You're going to love what you hear.